Before Dude, Where's My Car, there was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode on my channel. As always, I'm Jay, and guys, you read the title, and this is my first time watch review of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And of course, guys, what better time to review it than with the new third film coming up at the end of the month on streaming, video on demand, and everything like that. And guys, again, this is one of those films that is notorious and one of those 80s films that everyone says you have to watch at least once in your life. And guys, I ended up watching both of them, and of course, because I enjoyed them so much, I ended up having to get the special Shout Select Bill and Ted's most excellent collection, that is, for all the Blu-rays and some special features, which is awesome. But without further ado, guys, if you haven't seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, be warned that I am going to delve into some spoilers. So if you're alright with that, let's jump into my review of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. In this whimsical tale, two slackers trying to pass their history class must embark on the most bodacious journey through time in order to round up some of the most excellent historical figures for one of the most totally awesome time travel flicks ever made. It's like a teenage fantasy come to life on screen, and you know, it works all the better for it, hands down. And yeah, guys, I mean, this is another one of those 80s movies that people grew up with and that they're always telling you, hey, you gotta watch this if you're into trying to watch some older movies. This is one of the ones that you have to watch, one of the quintessential 80s films, and it really was. And guys, watching this, the hype didn't kill the vibe. It was actually very hilarious. There were a lot of funny moments in there. Alex Winters and Keanu Reeves are two lovable goofballs leading the film, and it works so well with their humor. And guys, growing up, I'd seen Keanu Reeves do, like, pretty much all the films that I'd seen him in do a lot more serious stuff. Maybe some lighthearted stuff, but nothing this, like, hilarious or, like, silly as far as his roles. So it was definitely a little bit of a shock to the system. I mean, on the one hand, you get the dude playing John Wick and Neo in the Matrix movies, and then now he's, like, totally a lovable doofus, and it's awesome to see, like, this different type of range and stuff. And I think this was right on the cusp of him kind of becoming a bigger action star, like with Point Break and Speed and all that stuff, and then that's where we started getting into the Keanu Reeves territory that we all kind of mostly know him for nowadays, anyhow. The way that this movie was played out, it was hilarious. They go through time, they get a whole bunch of different historical figures, there were a lot of funny bits and moments, and it was just so outrageous. I mean, and some of the jokes and everything, I even raised an eyebrow. I'm like, oh damn, like they had this stuff going on back then, and it was so funny. Obviously, you have your, like, 80s, like, typical 80s movie things. They have to go to a mall. They end up going to, like, X, Y, and Z places. And, of course, the vernacular and the way that these guys talk, they're like two total slacker stoner dudes. And they may not be the first people to be that way in the 80s and depicting that kind of role, but they do it so well, and their chemistry is off the chain and off the charts awesome, especially when they were interacting with the historical figures. But the two historical figures that were, like, the most funny to me personally was one, Napoleon, because he was a little bit of a bastard, and then of course Genghis Khan, who they ended up luring into the telephone booth with a freaking Twinkie, which is one of the most awesome things ever. And then of course you had the late George Carlin as Rufus, and he had some great hilarious moments too, very subtle, very kind of peppered in there, but he did his, like, best Looney Tunes kind of impression, breaking some fourth walls here and there and doing some narration for, you know, the audience and everything, and he was definitely a great addition to the film. It was random, it was cheesy, it was funny, it was awesome, it was all those things in great ways, and yeah, it's definitely a staple of 80s cinema. Overall, first time watching it, I really enjoyed it. I think I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was a good time, and it's a PG movie, which a lot of films nowadays, you don't really get that. You get, like, kind of the raunchy comedies, or you get those silly kiddish comedies where not a lot of people really enjoy sitting down, but this had a good balance of both, like, adult and kind of a family-friendly humor in some instances. Definitely a movie I'd recommend watching if you want to just have, like, a random movie night with your family. You got some young ones, and it's yourselves. But yeah, guys, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure was so good. It was excellent! But anyway, guys, if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend going and checking it out. It is available to rent on Amazon Prime for like $4. If you like the films, actually, I would definitely recommend going on to Shout Factory and getting the Shout Select Blu-rays. But this one is awesome, and it actually has some cool amenities and a third disc with a bunch of special features, which I am getting through right now. But anyway, guys, thanks again for joining me for another review on my channel. Again, go check out Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure if you can. It's a great film, and guys, if you like stoner, slacker, silly humor, and you want something that's kind of family friendly, definitely recommend checking this out. And guys, of course, I am going to be reviewing part 2, which is Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, in the leading up to Bill and Ted 3 Face the Music, and then I am hoping to review that film as soon as I can once I've seen that as well when it is released. But overall, again, thank you guys so much for joining me on my channel. Like, comment, subscribe, and if you are a sub, make sure you hit that bell button. That way you never miss a moment of my content. And guys, as always, I'm Jay. So until next time, party on, dudes, and be excellent to each other.